I think my generosity will definitely be one of the deaths of me. Not the death of me, but definitely one of the reasons of my downfall. It's difficult for me to turn it off as well. I don't know how to not care for other people. I don't know how to not care in general. Usually when I get too anxious, people tell me that I just need to not let it worry me, and I've never known how to do that. I've never known how to not let something worry me. And my whole rant about that is that people who are in poverty need much, much more support than a few coins and spare change and spare dollars here and there to be able to lift them out of that poverty sustainably and definitely and permanently. So I'm in like this crossroads. This whole channel is about crossroads, but I'm in this crossroads where I ignore people sometimes who need help because I know that my one bit of help will not substantially change their way of life. And at the same time, I want to give them all of my time and all of my energy and every resource that I can provide to try to help them get to that point of being on their own feet. I want to help people be able to lead a good life. I want to build a community where we are looking out for one another. And often it turns back into a situation where that person reverts back to their old routines or their old, unfortunately, bad habits. Or it turns out that they are building up some sort of momentum toward a more positive lifestyle and better changes for their future. And they kind of take my kindness and my generosity and my resources that I was able to provide in the past as an obligation that I will continue to provide in the future. And that's the part that makes me feel like I'm caught in the crosshairs between giving everything I have or giving nothing at all, because when I try to moderate what I give, several times in the past, I've had people not like that. And that makes me feel bad. That makes them feel bad. So I just, after all is said and done, I find myself sitting and wondering, what was the point here? Was there any kind of perk or benefit for either of us in this dynamic that we've crafted so far? And this isn't about any particular person. This has happened several times in my life by several people, and I've just noticed that this is a trend that happens with people who interact with me as an individual. And maybe this is just a me problem, and I hate that phrase, but that's a whole nother rant that I won't get into because I've already gone on one in this video. I want to give everything I can, and when I do, people either rely on me so heavily that they can't depend on themselves without me present, or if I don't give them the resources that I am able to give them, then they just kind of stay stagnant and I have to just watch them suffer, and I hate both of those options. And what I've been able to gather over the last few months of intense and prolonged pontification is that me trusting these people to build a symbiotic and mutually helpful relationship, whether it be friendship, romance, or anything in between, even workplace relationships, it just has usually blown up in my face. And it could be that I'm trusting the wrong people. And I hope that's not the case. And I generally believe that there is no such thing as a wrong person. I believe that people have their personality traits and none of it can be considered good and bad, but people's actions, given their circumstances, can be deemed good or bad from different people's perspectives. And that while there are people who are generally bad based on the intensity of what they do, it is definitely more of a gray area gradient than how we usually play it up in the 24-hour news cycle and mass media and social media. I've noticed that I'm caught in a negative feedback loop, and no one that I know personally in real life seems to really care. I have been trying to build community for as long as I can remember, literally all the way back to elementary school, and for a myriad of reasons, none of them really relating to me, but some of them relating partially to me. Everything is a gradient and a spectrum, and nothing is black and white binary. all of that to say, the people that I've made close relationships with have generally all left my life for different reasons, and I think that has impacted me in a way where I'm not able to be as experienced as other people are at my age. I will let you all know that I am 23 years old, and in this age of social media and instant video and photo sharing and being able to curate what we show to one another, it really seems like I have not lived as much as others have lived in terms of meeting varieties of personalities and going to different locations across the world and working different jobs and meeting different people who become your friends who all work in different industries, so that you can have an understanding of the community beyond your immediate circle of friends. I have not been able to obtain that, and I don't know if I ever will. I have noticed that when we show up for one another, it generally results in material and social positive changes, or rather the other way around. When we show up for one another, I've noticed that it generally results in social and then material positive changes for everyone involved. The more that we give, the more that we get. And I know that this is not a new concept. I know the concept of karma is not new, but I don't think people realize how heavily having consistent groups of people constantly uplifting one person in their life can help that one person, and in turn have that one person positively affect others in that one person's life. And I would like to be part of that lifestyle. I would like to help other people. And I've noticed that when I've tried to gain this kind of symbiotic relationship between friends and coworkers and neighbors, they're generally not interested. And I have a hard time figuring out why, beyond I just don't give off that kind of energy. Maybe I make it very apparent that I have trouble connecting with other people, and I have trouble connecting with other people, one, because I do let them walk all over me, but also because I haven't had a consistent base, not even in my childhood, not in my adolescence, and not in my young adult years. I have had to start over and over and over and over, and I have never been able to keep a close friend for more than 4 years. I have never been able to keep a close friend for more than 4 years. We've either drifted apart, or they've gone to a different state, or a combination of that, or something else entirely. And that's not letting people walk all over me. Life changes, things happen, people develop, but I'm coming back to this crossroads. I feel like I'm stuck in a very, very spacious intersection where the corners of each section are several miles apart from one another. And I have no recourse for what I'm supposed to do, because I honestly feel like I have tried not caring, and I've tried caring, and I've tried appealing to people's preferences, and I've tried appealing to my own preferences, and I keep having to start over. Every year or 2 or 4, I keep having to start over. And I'm just sick of having to start over. There's no point to this video. Thank you for listening to me, app. Therapy is expensive. And I'm sorry if you listened all the way through. I understand that most of this doesn't really amount to anything. It's just rambling, but I just want to be part of a community that gives for the sake of giving. I want to be a part of something that focuses on the greater good rather than personal gain. I want to be part of a collective that ensures the well-being of everyone involved. And that sounds like a pipe dream at this point in my life. Let's see if over the course of the next 4 years if I can make any of that happen. If not, I'll be in the same spot that you see me in now.